Even though I know he's not gonna listen to the shit. But you know. But this is actually like probably one of my most controversial pieces. It's based, I'm really not religious. Really, I'm not religious at all. But I'm very spiritual. I believe God is inside the heart of all men. God is in here right now. You know, I could be by myself in here and God is in here. You know, really, I didn't even have to be in the room. God is in the room. You know what I'm saying? God is in the air. But I was having a conversation with the preacher. I don't know what I did, but
it wasn't you.
Okay. I was having a conversation with the preacher, right? And I believe all men go to heaven, no matter how wicked you are. You know, for real. I believe God doesn't condemn you for the free will He gave you. You know, I believe all men go to heaven. And I was having a conversation with this preacher, and in his section of the branch of Christianity that he believes, you know, I was telling this, I believe all men go to heaven. He was like, no, that's not true. So, you know, he was telling me how, like, Jesus, when Jesus died, all the souls are waiting to be judged from that point on to go to heaven. You know, when Jesus died, you know, they're just waiting around to be judged. You know, the souls before them, they're either in heaven or hell. But when Jesus came, He died, you know, for sins, and now they're waiting for Him to come back, you know, because so they can be judged to go into heaven, right? So I'm like, wait a minute, so they're in purgatory or something, right? And he was like, no, there's no such thing as purgatory, you know? But they're waiting inside the body of Christ. And I'm like, but ain't Christ in heaven? You know, so with that being said, I'm about to start my own religion. With Bibles and Qurans are checked at the door and hung like coats just so we could gather studying the ancient philosophies and newspaper clippings. And my congregation, it just be built off all the money I've been saving. So church won't be like them castles, just have fast delusional preachers be having. Shit, we'll have sermons in my basement with poets rocking over some beats I made. And just before I go to sleep, I take every track we recorded and make a mix CD. Just so I could spin it in my stereo on repeat. And just so when dawn comes, brothers will be waking up in the morning, going to work, walking past my door, listening to songs. And I leave the volume loud enough for brothers to recognize the block that the Lord lived on. Because I'm tired of Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on my door, acting like the only way I can find God is by having one of them pay me visits at 8:30 in the morning. I mean, the least they could do is bring my ass some coffee. I mean, I ain't even half woke, and they shoving religion down my throat like when Crusaders ran through Rome with their hands filled with the blood of the men whose lives were took in the name of God they condone. So I usually answer the door for tank top and some briefs with my chain dangling like rappers be rocking Jesus pieces, and hand them a flyer for one of my new congregations and telling me I'm about to start my own religion. Because God, I believe even He has a heaven and blesses the lives of some of the world's most wickedest men. Whether it be Hitler, Ariel Sharon, Christopher Columbus, Clarence Thomas, J. Edgar Hoover, Saddam, or even modern day American presidents. Because God don't make no mistakes.
Yeah.
And condemn you for the free will He gave would just disprove that point in case. But people walking around trying to be perfect going to church on Sundays is as if the Lord actually sat around waiting to get His hand full off our praise. As if God was actually that vain. So I'm about to have an open house that was just based for Catholics and Jewish men and Muslims to gather just so they could tear down the guidelines of the religion. Systems that were selfishly created by man. So when you get down to it, numerically divided, we all still believe in that same one being. And I just have sermons referring to all my pupils as God, knowing that they had about as much to teach me as I had to teach them. And my choir would just be filled out with the harmony of homeless men. And at the surface, we'll just get together having ciphers, smoking up the earth and studying the lives and works of poets whose words was just too political to make scriptures. Because what would the Catholic Church make money off of if people just started realizing we got prophets walking in and out of these poetry events? Damn. So I'm going to start my own religion. But the only requirement needed to get in is that you don't need me, priests or preachers placing guidelines and passageways on your faith the way systems can. And I do it for all the souls who were just brave enough to break traditions of being force-fed to believing in this type of being that Jehovah's Witnesses and devout Christians define faith in. Because honestly, people, if God really has it in Him to have that type of wrath for me, then hold me condemned. And I swear, I won't hold not one sin. Their Lord just turns out to be the God that I wasn't looking for. So no need to put me out, believe if I ever to heaven. I behind men who claim they never sinned before. I look their God in His eyes and tell Him I'm sorry, but I just spent this lifetime believing you were so much more.
I know the game respect, even before walking the venue, they see it's tatted on my neck.